Now, your tax information this year could be drastically different than how it looked last year. The effects of the pandemic will make this a unique tax season for many filers. Accountant and business strategist Marquita Miller-Joshua joins us live at KCTV5's Phone Bank with tips to help navigate tax time. How are you, Marquita?
I'm good. How are you, Kelly?
I'm doing well. Now, if someone pulled from their retirement account, how will that impact them at the tax time this year?
Well, those funds are still taxable for federal tax purposes. And so, however, there is an exclusion if you have been impacted by COVID, that the penalty, if you're under 59 and a half, that you may not have to be subject to the penalty. So that's important for you to research from that standpoint, and because you don't have to pay the penalty, you won't have to have that penalty impact if you've been have a COVID impact. Now, what's a COVID impact? If you've had COVID or family members or income been reduced, and the IRS gives a great deal of listing for that standpoint. But it is important to know you do have to pay federal taxes, but there's another plus on it. Those taxes can be spread over 3 years if you'd like. That just means that you are going to be, it's going to impact your next 3 years tax returns, this year and the next 2. For some people we're talking to today, they just want to get it done with, take the impact on this return so that their next 2 tax returns don't have those impacts.
I guess that's good that it spreads over 3 years, because I'm sure a lot of people probably had to go into their retirement. Now, are employers or employees that work from home, are they able to deduct some of their home as an office?
No, so we've received a lot of those calls where individuals had to pay for additional internet in their home and set up offices, and they thought they'd be able to deduct that. But if they're an employee, there is not a home office deduction. Many years ago, that was the case. You could do that, but now that is not a deduction for you for those home office. So you're not able to, we've talked to so many people today with that question, but if you're a contractor or self-employed, then you can have a home office deduction on your taxes.
Yeah, a lot of people working from home right now. I also heard you earlier say unemployment payments are taxable. It was a big question you were getting this morning, but what can people expect if they didn't have those taxes taken out?
So if you didn't have the taxes taken out, depending upon how much you got, and one of the callers that called in and she said it was $6,700. I didn't realize it would count up so quickly. So it's important for you to add that with your tax documents to your tax professional, or many of the people we're talking to are doing their taxes themselves. Make sure you incorporate that. And to get the tax form, because that's been a popular question today, is you can get it from the unemployment portal, your tax form, but include that on there and it will calculate. There are some taxpayers that have said as we've been here today, they've taken time to go do what we said, called back in, and they didn't have a tax impact because they didn't work outside of it from the standpoint. So everybody's situation can be uniquely different, but make sure if you did receive unemployment that you do add that to your taxes, because that is taxable income.
Well, thank you, Marquita. I'm sure everyone at home, they appreciate your services today. Now, if you do have questions, KCTV5 does stand for you, and our tax hotline is open right now. You heard those phones ringing there. You can also call the number on your screen with any question you might have until 12:30 this afternoon, and the tax experts will be back tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12:30. Now, tax information is provided by third-party volunteers and not the station. All discussions are at the caller's own risk.